Hey, welcome to part 7 of our two-story house tutorial. What we're going to do here is we're going to just add some windows to the other parts of the house. Now, I probably should have showed you this in the last section, but we can actually copy and paste an entire window after we've made it. So to do that, we're going to select our little selection tool, and we have to drag and select every part of everything we want to capture. So we capture the entire window. And now I'm going to do Control-C to copy it. And let's say I want to put this window on the back of the house. I'm going to go to the back. Now I'm going to click and select the back of the house, and I'm going to do Control-V. And now it's going to give us this window. Sometimes SketchUp is really picky about where it thinks you want it. So notice as I move, it might put it on different sections or lay it down flat. I want it on the back side of the house. So I'm going to click and put that about there. Ooh, and look, you can even see through it, so we know it worked. I'm going to do Control-V again. Let's put another window back here. And again, it takes some movement sometimes on where you want to put it. So just be patient with it. Sometimes moving the camera helps as well. You can always click it there and then use your move tool to move it and slide it down. So that's what I did. It was being a little bit picky about where I placed it, so I just placed it and then I used the move tool. All right, so let's paste this one more time. Let's go to our arrow thing, Control-V. Let's paste that right there. And you can go ahead and do this with other size windows. Maybe this small window that I have here, I want to make a little window over on the side of the house. So I can do the same thing. I'm going to click this, click, select that, copy it, go over to the side, Control-V, and maybe I want to have just a little window right up there. Perfect. We'll click and let go. Okay, looking good. Now to make sure everything's deselected, I just hit the Escape key on my keyboard, and that deselected everything so I don't mess anything up. You know, let's put another window over on this side too. So I'm going to Control-V, put that window over there to give it some symmetry. This is really starting to look like a house. So the next thing to really make it look like a house is we're going to use some textures to add some siding and some shingles to the roof. So let's go to the paint can, select the paint can, and what we're going to do now is look for brick, cladding, and siding. We're going to open up that menu. This has a lot of the different things that we can use for the siding of our home. Now, if you want to make a brick home, you can do that. If you want to make the first story brick and the second story siding, you can do that. Feel free to be creative. I'm going to be pretty boring with this and just pick some really boring beige siding. So I'm going to click this one right here. And now I'm going to click our bottom story of the house, and notice it adds its siding. Click the top. And again, if you want to be less boring, you can play around with, ooh, maybe I want to make the bottom story of the house brick and the top siding. That actually has kind of a cool effect. I like that. You could do that as well. You could even use the line tool and make a line there and continue with brick on the second floor if you wanted, or you could just, or brick on the first floor, I'm sorry, or you could just make this entire side siding like that. I'm going to go with kind of this look where it has a brick facade at the front, but siding all the way around. So I'm going to click and click. And we can still later on edit and add a back door and things, even though we've already painted the siding on. We'll also probably want some siding up here on the side of the house like that. And now what we want to do is we want to add some shingles to the top. So to do that, we're going to close this menu. We're going to go to roofing and open up the roofing menu. And this has some different roof options. Again, I'm going to pick a pretty boring one and do this kind of dark gray shingles. Click there on top. Click there on top. And you can notice, this is really starting to look like a house.